So today at Repower SA we have this 5 kilowatt Growatt inverter. Now this inverter was already repaired, believe it or not. So we replaced the IGBTs and MOSFETs and a few diodes and resistors, but we still did not get an AC output on this inverter. Now the reason being, you'll see later on this video as I test this inverter further. But as you can see now, I took out the MPPT over there and I'm taking out the control card right now. We're just moving it to the side so I can take out the main board. Now for the main board to be removed, I also have to remove the fans a bit so that there's way for this main board to come out. Now the problem with repairs is mostly that our time goes into removing the boards from the inverters and testing the boards, actually fault finding, and then putting everything back together and reconnecting it and making sure that all of the connections are working properly. That is what takes most of the time with these repairs. The actual testing, load testing of the inverter and the replacement of the parts is the quickest part of these repairs, just for an interesting fact. Now over there I'm testing the relays on this inverter, and we find that one relay is indeed faulty. So we just do numerous tests to make sure that it's the relay this one that I'm marking right now, it's the faulty one. So as you can see, the relay sits on the other side of the board. This is the back side of the board, but you have to desolder it from the back, and it's quite a process because these relays are sticked on there properly and they absorb heat rather easily. So it takes a while to heat up the solder in order to remove these relays properly without damaging the traces or the board. So it's very important that we do this thoroughly. As you can see, there's the relay in my hand, and I'm just cleaning up where it came out, and now everything is moving very quickly. I cleaned the space where we soldered there, removed the markings, and I insert a new relay with the exact same specs and etc., and I soldered that into place. So as you can see, this is very quick. Removing the faulty product and replacing it with a new one is quite easy and fairly quick. After that, putting this inverter back together will be the problem, or not a problem, but that will take a longer time. I just tested the relay to make sure it's fine and everything works 100%, and I will probably start assembling this inverter now within a short time. Let me just check there. So yeah, I just make sure everything is clean and there's no solder remaining on the board, because that can cause some shorts. If you put it back together and switch it on, you can blow something else. These repairs you have to do your work properly, and that is why we go through all of these steps here at Repower SA. As you can see, I'm putting this board back inside there. It's quite a difficult maneuver. These things weigh quite a bit. One of these boards weigh around 5 kilograms. So holding that in place and making sure that you're not bumping anything or scratching anything, it's very important. I'm just putting back the fans there, and all of the screws are going back into this board. Now also, another thing is, if you start removing screws from this board, we put it in as you can see, there's just a little plastic cup thingy there. We put all of the screws in there, and sometimes you get you close this inverter and you have like 1 or 2 screws left, and then you have to figure out where you missed it. So yeah, that's that happens a few times, but after a while you start learning all of the places and you start to know these inverters. Now over here I just assembled it, and I'm running it through a quick test to see whether this inverter repair was successful and whether it gives us an AC output. So as you can see over here, I'm just speeding up the video also. You'll see that there will be an AC output shortly. There we go, AC 230 volts. Now I'll be measuring it just to make sure, because sometimes because of diodes the screen will display 230 volts but it won't actually put out 230 volts. So we just measure that on the output, and you will see, oh yeah, I forgot I switched it to DC, and that obviously won't work. But over here you can see 230 volts AC coming out of this inverter, which means this repair is successful, and I will be cleaning up this inverter and it will be load tested before it goes back to the client, and then everything is fine. Awesome.